Gentlemen, this video will benefit you the most. Ladies, you already know I'm about self-improvement and self-love, so this will benefit everyone. But let's go. I imagine a lot of you are searching on YouTube how to be funny, how do I get my crush to like me, how do I impress my boss with humor, how do I get others to like me. And let me tell you, that's the problem right there. Alright, you're thinking about others rather than thinking about yourself. You need to make yourself happy, make yourself laugh, and in turn, you'll be making others happy, making them laugh. Let me tell you how though. So I'm going to tell you a story of, just a simple relationship I had. A breakup. I thought I was going to end up with this person, right? The whole breakup happened. I was devastated. I got more into working out, trying to keep it positive, right? Trying to do things for myself, running a whole lot when I hate running. All these things, and training more MMA, morning and afternoon, twice a day, multiple times a week. And I wasn't finding myself to be happy, and I didn't care about happiness anyway because I had a mission, right? And my mission at the time was to be a UFC fighter and be at the top, and that was that, all right? I didn't care about happiness. It was just about pain and suffering and growing from that pain that I was essentially causing myself, right, while doing these workouts, while running a whole lot. I was giving myself validation and that I was heading the right direction, but I didn't find myself to be happy. I was still devastated. All right, some time passes and everything, I've been grinding hard. And all of a sudden, this person that, had ended the relationship with me or whatever, wanted to go on a date. I don't even know how it happened, but we were going on a date, right? We had a date planned. And that's when, all the nerves kick in. All the nerves of like, oh, I thought I was going to be with this person, but now I'm not good enough. Maybe I just wasn't funny enough and blah, 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 blah. Well, before we went on this date, there was a time period when, I'd be going out to talk to strangers all the time. That was just my thing. And I'd meet up with friends to go talk to strangers, right? You can call it gaming, whatever. We talk to men, women. We would just talk to anyone around us and just try to have fun. So at that time, I was prioritizing making myself happy, making myself laugh. And I would do this by literally having a conversation with the wall. If what are you going to talk to the wall about? Are you going to get bored when you're talking to this wall? Do you think the wall is going to get bored as these words are coming out of you and you're listening to them in your head and you're like, oh, this is a lame conversation to be having? All right? That's step number one. Talk to a wall. Talk to a wall and you're going to learn that you just want to be happy. You just want to make yourself laugh. So you're going to start talking about silly things, maybe the things that are running on the top of your mind that you never really say, that you just kind of dismiss all the time. Say those things. Say it out loud. All right? And then I challenge you to then just start saying things to make yourself laugh. All right? For me at that time, I had a group of friends and we would be freestyling all the time, right? So I would be driving in the car. I'd try to bust out a freestyle. But it was a freestyle that would just be a funny freestyle. A freestyle that would bring me so much laughter, like crazy laughter. I would sound like some silly hyena just laughing in the car because I'm saying things that don't even make sense or kind of make sense. And I'm like, where did I get this from? And, I didn't care because it was just silliness. That's the thing. You have to be able to be silly. All right? Light-hearted. Lighten up your energy. Okay? So you can talk to this wall. You could start singing. It doesn't have to be freestyling. It could be just singing to yourself. All right? The things you say to yourself in your head, a lot of the times do make you laugh. But those are the things that you don't say out loud because you're afraid of judgment and what people are going to think about you when you say those things, right? So a lot of the times we're having to put filters, and maybe you have to put a filter on your silliness a little bit so people can comprehend you and not think that you're on a whole different reality or dimension. But here's the thing. If you're just making yourself laugh, then you've won. Okay? So we skip to that present time. We're going on this date. The nerves are kicking in right as I'm in the parking lot. But that person was no longer my responsibility, right? Their actions, everything they did for themselves in their life, it wasn't my responsibility anymore, right? Because I was not with this person anymore. So my whole thought process or dream of wanting to be with this person until we grow old or whatever had to be diminished, all right, completely crushed. And if I didn't crush it, then I was going to be delusional. So I had completely taken that away. Boom, out my mind. This is just some regular person that I'm talking to, like I'm just some other person that I'm talking to on the street, some other stranger. You know, I'm just trying to make them happy. I'm just trying to learn something from them. I'm just trying to have a small conversation or a long conversation. You know, I'm just trying to interact with somebody in a positive manner. So this whole time I'm on the date, I had taken the idea of making myself laugh to a completely different extreme, all right? Like I tell you, I was running a whole lot. I was trying to train harder than the UFC fighters. I would look up to see how they would be training. And I would make sure to do double, all right? I would make sure to do more. So that was it. I was going to be extreme with this. The whole time, I'm saying things that are making me laugh. Me, all right? The things coming out of my mouth are making me laugh. So I'm laughing, right? I'm laughing after I say these things. They're silly. I'm in a lighthearted mood. Everything's going great, all right? And this person that I had gone on the date with was even like, you're a whole different person. You're a whole different person. What happened to you? Well, what did you think, you know? That person that I had dated probably wanted me to be more devastated, probably wanted me to be more depressed. And that's the vision that they had in their mind, right? So people will have this ball and chain on you because you will let them have that ball and chain, okay? Because they think you should be a certain way, and a lot of people feel that you need to act in that kind of way, or you need to be that kind of person. Now, if you just completely neglect the idea of, oh, I'm just here, or neglect the idea of having a conversation with someone for your benefit, all right, to neglect the idea of, I'm talking to this person so we can talk later in the future, later this day, later in the week, so we can go on another date. Let that go. Let it go. And let me tell you, because that's a lot of stress. With all that stress, you can't really be silly. You can't be lighthearted anymore. So you have to let it go. So some things you should be asking yourself is, am I trying to manipulate the situation for my own benefit? And if so, aren't you being selfish by doing that? Do you think you deserve a positive outcome for trying to control the other person's life? Trying to manipulate their actions, their ideas of you. All right, because that's being selfish. And yes, we have to do this at work. We have to act professional. Family gatherings, you know, a little bit more peaceful or whatever. Can't just be cussing everyone out. It's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is be positive. Be positive the whole time. The whole time you're alone. The whole time you're with others. And this is difficult to do with all the stressors that we have in our life. I get it. So when it's fun time, it's fun time. When you have to go hard at work, go hard in work. All right, but take it to that extreme of, maybe I'm just out here with these group of friends just to make myself laugh, so I make sure I have a good time. All right, why not? Why don't you deserve that? Now you're controlling how you feel about the situation and controlling your outcome in your future. Is that selfish? I don't think so. To me, that's self-love. All right, you're focusing on yourself. But now when you're trying to be funny to manipulate the situation and how others think about you, and you're being funny in front of your bro's girl, making them laugh, just because you want to feel validated or powerful or whatever, you want to get attention, you're not going to feel good about it. You'll feel good about being silly and being in a crowd and saying things that make yourself laugh, even if no one else laughs around you. You can walk away and be like, man, I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. I'm a genius. You know, I'm smart. I'm witty. Like, wow. People don't understand my humor. All right, and you can't be over the top all the time. But if you're trying to learn how to be funny, that's the first step you need to take, is loving yourself. All right, loving yourself, forgetting about getting this validation, forgetting about the outcome, and living in the moment. And it's very hard for some of you to do. It's easier said than done, but you can practice by talking to the wall. All right, by singing in the car, your own song, your own rap verse, your own anything that's going to make you laugh, make you have a good time, make you feel good, release those endorphins. You can go talk to strangers. All right, forget about the outcome. Just try to have a pleasant conversation, or maybe say something funny that makes you laugh, and maybe you'll make them laugh. And that feels good too, right? That is positive validation, all right? When you're seeking validation, then any kind of validation you get will be negative, all right? Because then you will depend on that kind of validation. You will depend on that to make you feel good, and you're really depending on others. Depend on yourself, and how strong and smart can you be? You're the ones to set the limits here. So tell me, how are you going to be funny?